All the street was our friends, our neighbors that we used to get together in Christmas. We used to go down the street and sing songs.
Robert and Guadalupe Alvarado have lived in this modest home on Baker Street just south of Kelly Field for 40 years.
When we came in, we were so proud to have this home. You know, we bought it under the government. We bought it from the government. And
would you believe it? We bought it from the government. We thought it was a good deal.
They say all the homes here were bought through a 1970s government program. Now, most of the original owners have died.
And here, mostly everybody down the block has had cancer or died from cancer.
And it's not just on Baker Street. Throughout the neighborhood, there are faded purple crosses, symbols of a 2-decade-old fight.
It doesn't take a rocket genius to know that something's wrong.
Against Victor San Miguel's home stand 2 crosses. Both he and his wife have thyroid cancer.
There are 13 houses on this block. And out of those 13 houses, 12 of those houses, people either have cancer or have died of cancer.
All of these homes sit on top of a shallow aquifer contaminated with suspected cancer-causing solvents used at Kelly.
It was an air logistics center, which means you had a lot of industrial cleaning operations, plating operations.
Steve Termath is in charge of cleanup operations for all 40 military bases closed by the Base Realignment and Closure Commission in the 90s. He says the Air Force doesn't deny the contamination. Trichloroethylene, a degreaser, and tetrachloroethylene, a paint stripper, as well as other known cancer-causing chemicals were used to clean aircraft parts there. All were routinely dumped into open pits on the base and were known to have leaked from storage tanks. Once the contamination was found to have spread under roughly 20,000 nearby homes and residents there started complaining of cancer and birth defects, the Air Force brought in experts.
As regrettable as those illnesses are, we haven't found, and these other outside agencies have not found a linkage to those illnesses from our contamination.
Numerous studies by the EPA, the CDC, TCEQ, and others failed to link the higher than normal rates of cancer and some birth defects to the contamination. More than 20 years after it started, experts are working hard on cleaning it up. Or are they?
I'd give them a D to a C.
George Rice is a groundwater hydrologist who served on the Kelly Restoration Advisory Board for 8 years. He admits the cleanup is working.
Instead of covering about 6 square miles, it now covers about 3 square miles.
But says it could be moving much faster. The Air Force could pump and treat the contaminated water under the neighborhood, the way they're doing on base.
I think it's just a matter of money. I would guess they don't want to spend the additional money that would be required to install an extensive pump and treat system out in the neighborhoods and clean it up more quickly.
Termath says money isn't the issue. The Air Force has already spent more than $328 million on the cleanup and will spend what it needs to complete the job. He says it's efficient treatment and points to a recent 9-year performance-based contract to drill into all contaminated areas and treat the water.
We're injecting, sometimes it's vegetable oil, sometimes it's lactate, as you'd find in milk, and other things that will go into there that will accelerate and make those plumes disappear faster.
Termath points to this map as proof the injections are working. He says the contamination, which once covered 6 square miles, has shrunk 63%.
Where we stand today, we'll be able to measure some of that progress within a few months.
See all these medications I take daily, and that's where my life is, in that box, you know.
The Alvarados hope they're here to see that day.
I won't function.
But no, the odds aren't good.
We just say another one. It's another one going.